This is a presentation on topic of defense applications of large language models. Language models in general predict the probability distribution or sequence of tokens. Here is an example. We have a language model and we have inputs which are being presented to it. Two such inputs are shown here. It will predict the probability. For example, this sentence is grammatically correct and the probability of that sentence is predicted by this language model as 0.2. Another sentence which is malformed, which has a grammar problem, is predicted with a probability of 0.001, which is much less than 0.2. LLMs are newer technologies which can predict even token or sequence of tokens. Sometimes many paragraphs can be predicted by them. Token can be word or a subword. And LLMs in fact make much better predictions than the previously used models such as n-gram language model or recurrent neural networks. Mainly because LLM contain far more parameters. For example, the latest ChatGPT may contain billions of parameters than compared to the recurrent models, and LLMs gather far more context. So in fact, LLM is a type of machine learning model that is designed for natural language processing tasks such as language generation. So they have, as I told you, billions of parameters and trained on large set of data sets using self-supervised learning. So in fact, the latest ones which is most capable LLMs are called as generative pre-trained transformers. Examples are ChatGPT, DeepSeek. Modern models can be fine-tuned for particular tasks using guided prompt engineering, a technique called prompt engineering. So in fact, these models acquire predictive power with respect to syntax, semantics, ontologies, that is a relation between words, which is present in the human language corpora. Sometimes there may be slight inaccuracies and biases due to the data which they are trained on. Here is a diagram which shows the LLM with respect to artificial intelligence. So in this Venn diagram, we see that the outer shell covers the artificial intelligence, and artificial intelligence encompasses expert systems, robotics, planning, so many topics. And in that, we see the subdomain machine learning. Machine learning, maybe statistical machine learning or using neural networks. And then we have deep learning as a part of the machine learning. Deep learning uses neural networks and uses multiple hidden layers, and the subset of deep learning is the large language models, which go towards having billions of parameters and large data set for training. So we also see generative AI, which is a part of this particular subset of deep learning and large language models. So it uses deep neural networks to create new content such as text, images of various forms. So one of the interesting capabilities of the LLMs is the emerging ability. Emergent ability is that it can demonstrate certain tasks for which it was not explicitly trained on. So for example, some arithmetic calculations may be performed. They can decode the international phonetic alphabets, than many other tasks listed here. And they can also identify offensive content in paragraphs. and translating languages and various aspects. So what are the benefits of LLM? LLMs can generate clear and easy to understand text for wide variety of language audiences. LLMs can make predictions on tasks they are explicitly trained on. They have emergent abilities. LLMs can handle natural language and also can deal with inputs in hundreds of languages. If you look at the latest ChatGPT and all, it can have conversation. It has conversation capabilities in hundreds of languages. So they can be useful for programming tasks also, like they can write code, debug code, optimize the code, and they can handle general knowledge questions because they have been trained on vast amount of data. They can answer factual questions. They can provide comments. They can write essays, answer specific questions. So recently, multimodal LLMs can generate images, music, videos. So the general applications of LLM, like they have been used for code generation and debugging, especially optimizing the code, fixing the code, anomaly detection and incident response for cybersecurity. They can identify suspicious network behavior for real-time security analysis, automated phishing and malware analysis. So they can classify phishing emails. They can generate malware signatures and security risks. Then predictive maintenance with LLMs, especially they are used for various predictive tasks, predictive maintenance tasks. They can analyze sensor data, let's say in aircraft, they can analyze sensor data and they can predict component failures. Medical diagnosis, LLMs process radiology reports, pathology slides and patient history. Automated trading and market analysis, they can process financial news, stock trends, risk assessment. So now we come to specific area, that is defense applications of LLM. They are useful for real-time intelligence analysis. LLMs can process massive amounts of signal intelligence, open source intelligence. They can do automated report summarization. For example, LLMs can generate battlefield intelligence briefings for analysis. They can be used for AI-powered cyber threat detection. So they can analyze vast amount of network traffic to detect malware, phishing, zero-day vulnerabilities. Autonomous drone applications can be using LLMs. Then AI-generated disinformation detection. LLMs can detect fake news, deepfakes, adversarial propaganda. And they are useful for next generation military AI research. They can be useful for defense technology innovation, such as hypersonic weapons. Further, I have elaborated on the potential applications, intelligence analysis. So they can identify patterns from vast amount of information, trends, anomalies. So they can even process foreign language inputs in Chinese, Urdu, and etc. So operation planning, LLMs can assist in planning military operations by generating and evaluating different courses of action. Then training and simulation, LLMs can create realistic and immersive training environment for soldiers. So soldiers can practice and improve their skills in a variety of scenarios. Autonomous systems, LLMs can be used to develop more sophisticated autonomous systems like drones, robots, humanoid robots. They can be useful for natural language conversation. They can operate independently and make decisions in complex environments. LLMs can be useful for cybersecurity. They can detect and respond to cyber attacks. They can generate countermeasures. They are useful for logistics and supply chain management, optimize logistics supply chain operations by predicting demand, identifying potential disruptions, streamlining movement of goods and personnel. This is a slide which shows that the Pentagon, which is part of the US government, is exploring ways to deploy LLMs for military applications. So in fact, they have sort of observed that LLM possess capability to rapidly analyze vast amounts of data and distill into concise insights. This they have sort of taken cognizance. So there are limitations of LLMs which we need to overcome in order to make the useful applications. Bias and fairness. So they can be biased and leading to unfair or discriminatory outcomes. Security. LLMs can be vulnerable to adversarial attacks, which can be used to manipulate or mislead them. Explainability. LLMs can be difficult to explain and making it hard to understand why they made a particular decision. Safety. So sometimes LLMs can make mistakes, which can have serious consequences in military or defense context. So we need to consider carefully these challenges and risks before deploying LLMs in military and defense applications. Here is a topic on secure AI in military organizations. So in fact, the military organizations cannot put their data in the internet or cloud. They have to secure the data, and that's where the adopting new technologies can be slower due to these strict requirements. So however, the potential of LLM to offer powerful capability of natural language, including understanding, translation and summarization, are beneficial there. So existing LLM models often lack necessary security features, explainability needed for military applications. So sometimes they may have something called as hallucination, which can result in incorrect information. So they may require internet connection, which is posing a risk for data security. And that's why Commander Rushwan of Indian Navy, who's an MTech student with me, has developed this Gen AI engine for secure information search, Genesis. So this is addressing the present need for secure, locally deployable LLM-based search tool that leverages advanced Gen AI techniques while ensuring data security, high reliability, and transparency. So the objective is develop a secure and locally run LLM rather than internet or cloud deployed LLM. So that way it ensures data security. Then objective 2, that is integrate advanced technique like agentic retrieval augmented generation to improve information retrieval, accuracy and few shot and chain of thought prompting to enhance reasoning capabilities. So here is the slide which shows mitigating hallucination. Okay, so that is retrieval augmented generation. That is, we have documents which are made available to the LLM so that the prompt can be properly interpreted rather than subject to hallucination. So here is a block diagram which shows agentic RAG. So here what is happening is it has access to many documents which you can retrieve and use it while generating answers and reduce the probability of hallucination. Then chain of thought prompting, where the task is broken into several smaller tasks and the outcome is not one single shot, rather it is a step-by-step process. So a few short chain of thought prompting involves giving some examples for the along with the prompt to ensure that the output is almost valid. So here is an explanation about fine tuning and also using LoRa fine tuning. Full parameter fine tuning, that is the pre-trained weights in the linear layer are in fact tuned here. So what are the advantages of the Genesis project? That is, it enhances decision making, it is increasing trust in AI system, then improved operational efficiency and secure and controlled access to the data and scalability and adaptability. So another application we are developing in our group is by Abhiniti Kashyap, who's an MTech student in data science. She is developing TruthNet, that is LLM based fake news detection technique. So this is using chain of thought, RAG, AI agents and local LLMs, and it is able to safeguard national security by filtering information, misinformation. It provides a robust, accurate and explainable system. So then we have another application called GemCyan, that is AI-based cybersecurity analyst. It uses Gemini AI by Google, which analyzes large dataset in real time. It can detect anomalies and predict potential threats and respond to automatically to incidents. So long context capability, that is a very important aspect of this Google Gemini, is leveraged here, and there is an extensive data set related to cybersecurity which is loaded into Google Gemini, and the Gemini can summarize comprehensive reports, then it can correlate data across time frames, support complex queries. So we have in fact published a notebook which one can execute to see this AI cybersecurity as analyst. So another aspect we have seen is that many competitions happen in this domain using LLM to solve newer problems. Like one is a benchmark, that is abstraction and reasoning corpus benchmark, provided by the ARC Foundation, and this where humans can easily score 85% in the task, but AI systems are failing in this task and they are scoring only 34%. So we were able to demonstrate using open source Llama LLM, which has around 8 billion parameters, to solve the ArcAGI dataset. So there is a requirement for collaborating with industry in this regard. The leaders in the LLM are companies such as Google, Microsoft, OpenAI, NVIDIA, and they have provided credits for us to LLM research. They have open source LLM models, and this can be useful for us. So we come to the end of this particular presentation, and any questions are addressed in this. One is that LLMs provide a good opportunity for the defense research and applications. Two is that a lot of work need to be done